Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name remains Nkechi Ejikume, who cares to care. If you are seeing me for the first time, which is very likely, could you please click on the subscribe button to subscribe for me? Secondly, could you please click on this bell button for notification when I upload videos so that you will know. If you are a returning subscriber, I want to say a massive thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. The good Lord will keep you, keep your household, keep your families, especially in these trying times, in this pandemic period. This pandemic will not near your dwelling. Thanks for watching. So my people, I'm back again with the second part of encouraging us with my story, with my past, with my dark years, with my dark days, and bringing us to where I am now, but most importantly, where I am going, so that when we speak, we are on the same page. Remember, we are still talking about my story and being transparent, because transparency makes sense. When you know my story, okay, when you know some of my story, when I speak to you, it will make sense. My story is long, you can know all, but I will give you as much as it is practicable, because I don't want to bore you in between and lose you in between. So, you know, okay. Today, the second part of this story will be the telltales. And parents, it is very important to look out for the telltale signs, especially when our children are recovering from some funny illnesses. It is important to be very observant, and for a child that is just about to start speaking or have just started speaking, might suddenly recoil and go quiet. Please keep your eyes open to see if you will notice any change, any serious withdrawal, any, as a mom, do not take anything for granted at all. Do not take anything for granted, because sometimes they look like they are okay, they are recovering, but they might not quite be recovering. I know people say children don't lie. When they are not well, they're not well. But sometimes, when they're too young, when they can't express themselves verbally yet, when they're just learning to say one or two words, they might not be able to say much. So it is our duty and our responsibility as parents to keep our eyes open, to monitor them, to see what's going on. I said that to give this example with my last child. Remember, in my previous videos, I told you I have 4 children, mother of many. If you have not seen my past videos, please could you endeavor to listen to them so that we can be on the same page as we roll on this channel. I want to give an example with my last child. Still on my journey and still on my story. When I had him, again, normal pregnancy, everything was okay, everything was hunky-dory. I had him, he thundered out, and he was a boy. We are happy, you know. And to be fair, at that time, we hadn't known there was anything quite wrong with my third child when I took him with my fourth one. But he came. You know, gorgeous child. So 10 days, about 10 days after I had him, he brings up his feed. And when he brings up his feed, you know, when he throws up, it travels. I took him to the hospital the first time. I'm on telltale signs. I took him to the hospital the first time. The doctor said he was okay, I should go home. And you know when everything will be happening to them once you get to the hospital, they will sleep off. The doctor said he was okay, I should go home. I went back and forth. The second time, same story. Third time, the same story. Fourth time. On the fourth time, I told the doctor I was going nowhere. I'm sitting put in this hospital. This child is not well. This child brings up his feed. I feed him, he will bring it up. So he's not well. As I insisted I wasn't leaving, the doctor looked at me. He said, okay, on the next feed, once you put him on the breast, let us know. I said, okay, fine. I sat in the hospital waiting for them. So when he woke up, as I lashed him on the breast, I called the doctor. The doctor just came and pressed his tummy. Just that same second, quickly yanked the child off my hand and disappeared. He said to me, this boy is admitted right now. This is the same child they have sent me home how many times with, that he was okay. Telltale signs we are on. Mothers, fathers, parents. I came home, brought my stuff and came back. By the time I returned, my child has been wired from head to toe. So they said anyway, you know what? They're going to transfer us from here back to Great Ormond Street. We were transferred. The boy didn't eat for 3 days because he needed to remove everything he had in his tummy. He needed to leave his system. As a matter of fact, he was going to go in for a surgery. This is a baby of 10 days. I didn't get it at all. Apparently, when he feeds, where the food is supposed to pass through, that place was blocked. The food was not going down. So the food hangs. The part of the intestine that where the food should pass from was blocked. It wasn't going down. So it hangs. When the food sours, he brings it up. The food couldn't go down because a particular part of his intestine was blocked. Can you imagine? This is a child they said take home, he's well. So the boy went into for a surgery. He had that surgery, as God will have it. Came out successfully. You know, and we went on. That particular child of mine as well, as I speak to you, he's 13-year-old man. After that surgery, when he was 1 or 2, he had a hot water accident. I'll spare you the story, another story. He had a hot water accident. I don't know how his face and his tummy escaped, because he literally pulled the distiller of hot water and emptied it on himself. His 2 arms, his 2 legs gone. But God healed him too. I will save you that details. It was another trying time. Then, he's recovered. He's 13 years old. He's actually in secondary school. My God is faithful, that I must say. Excuse me to worship my God, because I have to. This woman has been on a journey. I'm saying all this for us to be on the same page when I upload my videos. Transparency, so that it will make sense when we talk. That's all. It's not for pity. I'm on the other side now. I am on the other side. I am not completely, whole, like the Bible will say at the moment. But I am at the place of rest in this situation. The pain I have now is not the pain I had 10 years ago. The pain I had now is not the pain I had 30 years ago. The pain I have now is not the pain I had 15 years ago. Nakachukwu called my son is 17. But I have quickly learned to move with time and season, because being stuck in a place will not help me. So, back to Nakachukwu Godi. So remember, his speech has stopped now verbally. We started going to the GP back and forth, from the GP to so many referrals, back and forth, from seeing one consultant to another consultant, with endless stories. It was a very exhausting, tiring, and very draining period. And it can be very draining period for couples, let alone when you are a single mother or a single father. For me, remember that I have 2 children before Nakas and 1 after him. It was a very trying and frustrating and exhausting time. I was totally confused. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. The social workers were there, don't get me wrong, but I tell you something, I was totally out of my depth. It wasn't easy. You go and see one consultant from one referral, you have to wait a lifetime for them to come up with one other story. You don't know what the next mail dropping in is going to read. You don't know what they're going to say next. After a long time, they diagnosed him autism. That's what they said. It was absolutely devastating for us, for me. I, for one, I haven't heard that word before. Neither do I understood what it meant. The confusion was on a high level. I was one of those moms, I must confess, it's transparency, that slipped into denial. I had no one to guide me. I had no one to teach me. I had no one to talk to me. That's why in my first video, I mentioned quick intervention remains key. Once a child is diagnosed, boom, move. I was in denial for a while because I was out of my depth. But when you intervene as quickly as possible, it enables you to get the best help as early as possible for your child. I was the mom that cried morning, afternoon, night, in pain, wailing seriously. But one thing was sure, I learned not to lose focus on my God. In that mess therein, I called on Him morning, afternoon, and night in their situation. I was totally broken, to be honest. But the dark places were getting darker because of the amount of pain I was going through. I was very unhappy. But at that point, I had to learn quickly to deal with the realities therein. The realities of the situation began to stare me in my face. I said two things. If I lose my life in this situation, if I go to heaven, I will be a failure standing in front of my God. When He will ask me, what did you do with the children I gave you? I will say that I couldn't look after them, I died. I'll be a failure. Secondly, the children I will leave behind will suffer, including that Nakachukwu. They will suffer. So I had to brace myself. I thank God for that, not by my own strength. I had to brace myself. I had to rise up to the challenges. I have to rise up to the pain. I have to rise up to the frustration. I have to rise up. Remembering that God will make a way of escape even in that situation. He remains the author and the finisher of my faith. Hebrews 12:2. I rose, holding on to God. Started my journey. Today, again, my son is a different person. He can do a lot, which I will return back with the story. Just don't want to bore you, that's all. He's a different child. He's doing well. He's doing very well. And he will do better. So if you are a mom listening to me, sitting where I have sat, that was my past. I like that. You will tell the same story. It will be your past. If you are sitting where I have sat in pain, I want to tell you it will pass. If you are sitting where I have sat thinking, where is the next direction? I tell you something, direction will come. If you are sitting where I have sat, wondering what is the way forward will come. It can only get better. Keep on keeping on. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. My name remains Nkechiume. Who cares to care? If you have not subscribed, subscribe now. Hit on the bell button for notification. I'll be back soon. Thank you. Bring in your comments. Bring in your questions. Whatever you do, stay safe. Bye.